Someone who only possesses a fake sword can only become a fake hero. Those are the words that prompted the hero Himmel to acquire the hero's blade and take down the Demon King. In this video, we will explore the entire story of Himmel and Haider's past and how they developed into the great heroes we know today. Let's get started. One night, young Frieren asked Haider what kind of person the great hero Himmel was. "A frivolous narcissist," Haider replied. Frieren then commented that Himmel sounds completely different from Haider, to which Haider responded that nonetheless, Himmel was a true hero. This prompted Frieren to exclaim, "And Haider is a true priest." Haider laughed and commented that Frieren says the nicest things. When Haider mentioned that it was almost time for her to go to sleep, Frieren requested that Haider continue his stories about Himmel because she still wanted to hear about his adventures. Haider explained that fairy tales are naturally exaggerated. Both Himmel and he have been glorified quite a bit. He then asked Frieren if she would still be interested in hearing such a story, to which Frieren replied that she would like to hear Haider's story. Haider's story began in a forest where a man saw a little boy. The man asked the boy, "Who are you?" while marveling that a monster, which would normally require at least 5 adults to defeat, was taken down by the kid with a single knife. This baffled the man, and the boy answered, "I'm Himmel." As Himmel was about to leave, the man told him to wait. The man, a peddler, said he had something perfect for Himmel. He brought out a sword, offering it to Himmel as a token of gratitude for his help, and claimed it was called the hero's sword. Himmel's eyes sparkled as the man explained that the sword was perfect for him, as a gift for the future hero. In the next scene, we see a group of kids, with one running towards them. It turns out one kid is injured while another, wearing glasses, is healing him, saying it will only take a little longer. The running kid shouted to get their attention, excitedly saying it seems Himmel defeated a monster. The other kids commented that that's incredible and they'd expect no less from Himmel. They decided to check it out, and due to the excitement, even the injured kid got up, prompting the kid with the glasses to remind him that he hasn't fully recovered yet. Here it was revealed that the kid with the glasses is Haider. When the injured kid tried to persuade Haider to join them to see what Himmel had done, Haider explained that he still had something he needed to do, so he would decline for now. As he walked away, the other kids commented that Haider always reacts like that instantly when it comes to Himmel, and he isn't being honest at all. Haider simply reminded the injured kid to try not to run too much, as his wounds might open up again. In the next scene, we see Himmel gazing at his new sword with delight. Haider arrived and asked where everyone had gone. Himmel answered that they had gone off for prayer, prompting Haider to remark, "So it is already that hour, then." Haider then inquired about what Himmel was holding. Himmel proudly responded that it was the hero's sword and that he, as hero Himmel, was cool. Haider then commented that the sword was fake, which surprised Himmel. Haider smirked and mentioned that he once heard that the real one exists in the village of sorts. "Is that so?" Himmel said, then happily explained that a fake was fine too, and he just needed to act as if this sword was the real deal. He added that besides, he looked cool with this sword, prompting Haider to ask, "What are you talking about?" Haider bluntly stated that someone who only possesses a fake sword can only become a fake hero, and that the apple does not fall far from the tree. The atmosphere suddenly became serious, and the two looked at each other. Himmel then smiled and declared, "I will become a hero." Mocking him, Haider sarcastically said that if Himmel was really a hero, he should grant him one request. Haider pointed at the mountains and explained that recently, monsters had been frequently appearing in that forest, preying on the villages. So, if Himmel was the great hero, he should find a way to resolve that. Himmel smiled again and said, "Leave it to me." A priest then arrived and called them because it was time for prayer. They went to the church and prayed together. After praying, the kids complained that their legs were numb and that they hated prayer time. When asked if Himmel felt the same, he said that he rather liked it and that the goddess was surely smiling at him right now. He suddenly noticed Haider, who was still praying, as a ray of light seemed to shine upon him. Looking at him, Himmel wondered if the goddess was smiling at Haider, prompting him to question himself, as it made him feel a little envious. In the next scene, we see Himmel getting ready for something, and then he saw Haider, making him question what Haider was doing in a place like that. He decided to follow Haider and was surprised by what he saw. He saw Haider and a big boulder with a paper that had an X mark stuck to it. Sigh. Once again, I have failed, Haider commented. Later that night, at the dining table, the other kids were worried about Himmel because he was still not there. Suddenly, Haider shivered, realizing that Himmel had indeed fulfilled his request, prompting the other kids to ask him what was wrong. Haider nervously explained that he had forgotten he had something to do, so he would be heading out for a bit. While walking, Haider thought that Himmel trusted people way too blindly, even though there was no need to come all this way out. While searching for Himmel, a monster suddenly tried to attack him. Somewhere nearby, we see Himmel searching for the monster Haider had mentioned. Not long after, he hadn't encountered any monsters and also commented on how quiet the night was. He then heard rustling in the bushes, which caught his attention. Himmel got ready, saying that he didn't sense any evil presence, but it might still be a monster. Approaching the sound, he saw an injured Haider leaning against a fallen monster. Himmel was shocked to find Haider in the forest and, seeing his injuries, concluded that Haider had defeated the monster, prompting him to praise Haider. Himmel then explained that at this moment, he was sure everyone at the orphanage was worried sick and that Haider's wounds needed to be healed as well. Haider explained that Himmel had the wrong idea because it wasn't him who defeated the monster. If it wasn't Haider, then who was it? Himmel asked. Haider answered that it was another monster that had defeated it. Suddenly, the monster Haider had mentioned emerged from behind Himmel, startling him. The monster's attack was so powerful it cut the fallen monster's body in half. We then see Himmel okay as he tried to cut the monster's back with his sword. The monster plummeted to the ground while Himmel got his bearings together and somersaulted to safety. Himmel commented that his attack had pretty much drained all of his strength, and yet it probably had no effect whatsoever. We then see the monster emitting its mana, looking unscathed by Himmel's attack. Haider urged Himmel to run, explaining there were no match for it and Himmel could still escape. He further insisted that Himmel should warn all the villagers before there were any victims. Himmel quickly refused, asking about Haider. Haider then shouted at Himmel to go, explaining that he didn't need to consider or feel obligated to save him and that what he had told him at noon was a lie. I cannot stand you, Himmel. I simply cannot stand your guts, Haider added. Haider explained here that although Himmel was a frivolous narcissist, he was liked by those around him. What's the difference between me and you? You have no need to save someone like me who keeps thinking like that, Haider explained, to which Himmel answered that it is relieving to hear, puzzling Haider. Himmel explained that this lie means that nobody has become a victim yet. Haider gazed at Himmel while he stood his ground, saying he is going to save Haider. When Haider tried to convince Himmel that there is no benefit in saving him, Himmel explained that what he's doing has nothing to do with that. His friend is in trouble and that's enough of a reason for him to help, he said. Haider was touched by his words, while the monster screeched and started charging. Himmel also charged at the monster and got ready to swing. However, Himmel didn't have the strength to counter the monster's attack, which made him plummet to the ground. The monster charged up its attack again and quickly approached Himmel. But, in the nick of time, Haider manages to hit the monster with his magic. Haider explained that the monster is impossible for Himmel to handle, and the mana from the monster Himmel defeated that morning is incomparable to this one's. So what? I've already decided to become a hero, says Himmel. He added that besides, if he were to run there, then as Haider says, he would be a fake. Haider then sighs and says that Himmel should not misunderstand this, but he is only fighting for himself. Himmel replied, sure, and added that they will definitely win. The monster charged, but they managed to dodge it. Haider cast blade sharpening magic on Himmel's sword and commanded him to attack now. Himmel managed to land a blow using their combo. Haider then decided that they should retreat for a moment. While running, Haider commented that things are only going to get worse like this, to which Himmel said that he was thinking the same. That made Haider shout, do not say that. You are a hero, are you not? Please figure something out. Himmel then asked him, isn't he capable of using the goddess's spells? That stunned Haider and made him shout, how did Himmel know that? To which Himmel just smiled. Haider then explained that he can't handle them yet, and those spells take quite a bit of magical power, so they cannot be used in actual combat, to which Himmel commented that it will be alright because knowing Haider, he's sure he could pull it off. He further explained that, after all, he knows he believes in the goddess more than anyone else and puts in more effort than anyone else. So there is no way that Haider would be unable to pull it off. If you can't believe in yourself, then believe in me. Because I believe in Haider from the depths of my heart, Himmel declared. After that, Himmel suddenly rushed towards the monster. Haider thought to himself, "You truly bear no hesitation, do you? I'm not like you." He explained that he truly cannot understand Himmel since he only ever watched him in admiration, and he is unable to believe in himself. But even so, he gathered up his courage because Himmel believes in him. Haider got ready to attack, opened his grimoire, and cast 3 spears of the goddess towards the monster. The monster managed to stop one of his spears of light, and another went up. "Looks like I cannot handle it perfectly yet after all," Haider commented. Not long after, one of the spears of light fell from the sky, hitting the monster. Himmel then stood in front of the monster, saying, "Haider is truly incredible, and he should leave the rest to me." While watching, Haider thought that Himmel is the incredible one, the stance he takes when facing foes more powerful than him, the readiness to trust others. That made him wonder if a person like Himmel could become a true hero. At last, the monster was defeated because of their teamwork. After that event, while Haider was telling the story, Frieren had fallen asleep. We then go back to the story in which Himmel was saying to Haider that he is going to defeat the Demon King. Haider then commented, "Not while you are still struggling with these monsters." But after he says that, he also said that even so, he will believe in Himmel. Himmel then asked Haider to start adventuring together, and thus, that marked the beginning of Himmel and Haider's joint adventures.